Hey guys, we're going to get back into writing a personal narrative. So today we're going to talk about the checkpoint number 8, the writing process step 4. Writing process step 4 is the evidence of revision and editing. So what is revision and editing? Well, let's backtrack just a little bit here. We started with the memory inventory, and if you've watched my videos, I picked the event from my memory inventory of Philip kicking me in the face, playing Red Rover. Then we did this planning sheet where you talk about the order of events, the background information, and your reflection. Then you wrote your rough draft. This truly is a rough draft. So when we get to our final writing a personal narrative rough drafting process, when we get to the end here, what we start doing is we start inserting more sensory detail around the incident. We start coming up with a better, more interesting hook. We also include dialogue and things people are saying to each other, and we also include things that you thought about when you were going through the event. So, if this were the story that I chose, the one about me getting kicked in the face by the boy named Philip, who I was in love with, this is a good rough draft. I do have several paragraphs here, and it is in the correct grammar, spelling, punctuation phase. This is great. This is a great rough draft. However, when I went through into my next checkpoint, what I did here is I added a lot more detail. So, what makes a good hook? Here, if you read my story, what I did for my hook was I actually took right after the incident, where I talk about the taste of my own blood, talking about how my teeth were lodged into my tongue, and how my head was spinning. And then I added some sensory detail here, figurative language. My head was spinning, swaying back and forth as if I were on a boat during a storm. And then I tell you that I didn't like this girl named Rachel. So I started my story here with some intrigue, some suspense. You know something bad is going to happen, but you don't exactly know the situation. But then what I did to get into the story is I backtracked a little bit. So my hook was kind of giving you some hints about the incident and then coming back to the beginning of the story. So then I give you some more details here. And then when it gets to right before the incident, I really give some sensory details here, what people are saying to each other. I talk about how it felt when I got kicked. And then I also talk about what happens as soon as Philip starts running towards me. So this would be like the climax of the story. So I inserted a lot of details here about what happened. You can pause and you can read this section if you would like, and that'll give you an idea of how much detail you could include around your incident. All right, so then I also added just some really quick pieces of dialogue. And that would be a great thing for you to add too. Dialogue is what we are going to work on for our warm-ups, and that's what you should be adding into your story too, to make it feel more realistic, more interesting. And then at the end of the story, I finish up with the lesson that I had learned. So again, these steps that you take, your rough draft in this stage is really a rough draft. I really am looking for evidence that you guys have edited and added more detail to your paper. So if this is something that you have right now, this is a great start. I want to see you guys adding on that final step of the revision process. I want to see some dialogue. I would like to see that you've added more sensory details, what you saw, what you heard, what you felt, what you went through. Give me more details there. And then even give me some dialogue. So I know this is a long thing for you guys to work on. If you would like to share your story with a partner and get some feedback, you absolutely may. I'll help you set that up if that's what you choose. But I will be going through each one of your stories and helping you get from here, the rough draft phase, to something a little bit more polished and a little bit longer. So let me know if you need help. I absolutely am here for you. Make sure to hit turn in and request feedback once you're finished. Thanks, guys. Let me know if you have any questions.